Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome back to the Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader beta test, where we're exploring the opening acts of this upcoming cRPG with a short but hopefully sweet miniseries. The plan here is to not spoil too much of the game, leaving something for us to explore when the final build actually releases, when we have our playthrough start to finish as a much more, let's call it, open-minded Rogue Trader. With that said, folks, I am still running that massive giveaway thanks to the devs. I have a bunch of beta keys to hand out. I'll be using the same method as previously for this episode, but I saw some feedback in the comments of the previous episode, and I might switch things up for the next episode, or perhaps for the final episode, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both linked in the description down below, because if I do switch things up, chances are the method will include one or both of those two platforms, just to try and sort of level the playing field, as it were, with regards to who has a chance of actually grabbing one of those keys. I've seen your feedback, I'm taking it into account. This episode, we're going to still use the old method, so keep your eyes peeled for the keys popping up on screen, but for the next couple episodes, or at least for the last episode, again, going to take a slightly different approach. I just haven't quite figured out exactly what just yet. With that said, folks, though, no more time to dally. Let's go ahead and push deeper into the ship and see if we can't save it. So what do we have over here? Generators hum softly when you draw closer. Your skin begins to tingle from static discharges. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Anything to scoop up over here before we go through those doors where I assume something's waiting for us? Nothing else going on over here. This is where the betrayal was revealed, right? Just a bit of context to remind us where we are. And what do we have here? Ah, this is the other side. This is where we were stuck previously. So these are actual things we can pick up now. It's all cargo. Very well. Let's pull back and those giant doors, I guess. All doors on this ship are giant doors. What am I saying? Calling them giant doors doesn't specify anything. Let's push through, see what's up. Anything? No? Camera? Okay. Not revealing, not like cutting through properly until we actually move through. There's that successful awareness check revealing something, but also a cutscene. Kinda jumping the gun there, Abelard, aren't you? We got stuff to pick up over here first. Ah, just more cargo. Alright, fine. We'll take it for the time being. Again, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the game or didn't see the playthrough previously, you can use that cargo to gain reputation with other trade partners and then unlock higher tier equipment that you can actually purchase from them when you meet their representatives around the sector. This room clearly does not serve as a stateroom. The generators, machines, and crude wall paneling indicate that it is a maintenance module room rather than an area for receiving guests. Very well. Pull back and push through. I do believe these are the Lord Captain's quarters. Oh wow, we left a lot of stuff behind, didn't we? Bunch of auto pistols, we got some scrappy auto guns, and a pair of swords. Let's go ahead and move it all to the cargo. I don't think we need any of that equipment, and we should be good to go. I do love that system. I do love that the game doesn't force you to go around to each individual body to pick loot up. It's like, okay, let's like... Maybe the least fun part of cRPGs is making sure you didn't leave anything behind like that. Obviously, you know, if there's rare equipment that's in a pile somewhere else, not in the bodies that you created in combat, you have to go and find them with awareness checks and pick them up. That still makes sense, obviously. But for other loot, I love this method so much. Anyway, let's move on. Alright. Very beautiful space over here. Very beautiful space over here, actually. I love the environments, man. They really brought this universe to life. I mean, Owlcat's got that track record, right? Like, no surprise that this game is so fun and so beautiful, but still very pleasant. This is a little less so. Yo, what?
I'll lay claim to the stars. Excellence matters.
The scene of the murder looks like something caught the dead by surprise. What? So, I mean, if you've played the alpha, if you played the second act of the game, you knew her death was coming. I didn't realize it would be within, you know, an hour and a half or so of the game actually kicking off. it's like right at the beginning. The second act, the writing in the second act made it sound like something that happens halfway through the first act. This is still the prologue. Wow, alright. Theodora von Valancius' body is sprawled on the large, blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is lying on the floor by one of the bulkheads. The Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the arch-militant's body. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Idira's heartrending scream shakes the walls. I'm not about to scream into the mic. She collapses to her knees, her body shuddering as she weeps. Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing, not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this? Abelard, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body. Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat Voigtvir. Almost certainly, he loathed Theodora. Abelard runs his hands over his face. First betrayal, now the murder of the rogue trader, and Mort? How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The arch-militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes. Idira sobs and gets up. She glances around, looking lost. I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds. Let's examine Theodora's body first. You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto-pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches your eye, a heap of blood-splattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Okay, we could inspect the shards. I wanna handle this myself first. Even though Idira, as far as I know, in character, even though Idira may be a sanctioned psyker, there is still a limit to my trust of psykers, and on top of that, we are in a very sort of sensitive position right now as far as, what's the word I'm looking for? Toying with the warp is concerned. So I think we would first investigate things ourselves, and if we're not able to discern anything, then we'd ask Idira for help. So let's inspect the shards by the desk ourselves first. It is difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they'd been submerged in promethium. Okay, let's take a look at these papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You go over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. Vaguely familiar. Okay, XC. Okay. Imperium lore check succeeded. Sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter, addressed to Theodora von Valancius, signed it with a seal of one of the Holy Ordos of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunts heretics, Xenos, and other enemies of humanity. Alright, I see where this is going. One thing I really want to point out, though, is that even if you're not familiar with the Warhammer 40K universe, I feel like the writing in the game does a great job of explaining exactly what you're dealing with, so you don't need to be familiar with the game's lore to actually engage with it, which is so important because so many Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40K games don't do that, and so new fans can't, get into the hobby or get into the lore because the games do such a poor job of being inclusive in that way, of letting new people experience all the good stuff there is to experience. And I really like how even just something as simple as explaining what the Inquisition is in a nice way, rather than having to force the tooltip, which, is there for those who want it, it's just such a nice touch. But I digress, my apologies. Let's examine the arch-militant's body. An auto-pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. The safety on the arch-militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. Alright, looks like we can't tell too much ourselves. It's time to engage Idira. Idira, would you try touching Theodora? You might be able to see the killer through her eyes. Idira's whole body shudders. It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp. Okay, at least she's a smart one. Well, what do these shards tell you then? Idira scoops up a handful of shards and clenches them in her fist with such strength that blood starts dripping on the floor. I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad and... What is that? Ah! She shakes her hand, looking frightened. Something dark, enormous. Oh, Bardor, this glass thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. You cannot tell if Argenta's remark is directed at the glass shards or Idira herself. Very well. We'd best be on our way. Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more. No, wait. We must see if we can find anything. Idira. Abelard lays a hand on her shoulder. You can't bring her back. Let her go. You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart, but you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain, and when I do... Idira clenches her fists. That scum will regret the day they were born. Good stuff. All right. Loving the difference in character motivations. That's not the right word, but just the way they respond to the death of the person who's been letting them for who knows how long, right? But I'm quite genuinely taken back here, folks. I did not realize that this happens right at the opening. Holy crap. I thought we still had some time with Theodora. Interesting stuff. Let's take a look around, see if there is anything to find. Including, yes, some valuables, right? If the ship goes down, we want to make sure that any of the Lord Captain or the former Lord Captain's valuables have been secured. We've got the Rogue Trader's Cloak over here. Absolutely take that to our inventory. Might have to don that ourselves soon. What do we have up over here? Theodora's Rosary. Ooh. The wearer of this amulet gains a bonus to Commerce and Lore Imperium checks equal to their Fellowship bonus. Okay, sounds good. Some of these items were actually not in the alpha, which is interesting. So I wonder if they went back and changed things up, or if they specifically excluded them from the alpha to prevent giving too much away. We could get the Captain Militant's helmet. Requires a certain level of Imperialis. Fair enough. This helmet grants its wearer immunity to enemy critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat. Wow. Sounds like really powerful equipment to get early on, actually. But again, just because we have it doesn't mean we can use it. You need Imperialis Adherent here, and I imagine, only one of our characters might actually have that to begin with. Like, we are currently at... Ooh, hello. So we're currently at Follower for Imperialis, and it gives us Grim Determination. The Rogue Trader and their allies gain plus 10% chance to survive with 1 wound instead of falling unconscious. Ah, interesting. Okay, and if we take a look at Abelard, he's actually Benevolentia. Alright, very well. We've got Idira, who's leaning a little bit towards Hereticus. Okay, fair enough. So these guys, when they hit these levels, it doesn't actually have an impact on the party. But when we hit those levels, it does have an impact, which makes sense. That makes sense, because these guys will come a little pre-built in certain ways, and you don't want the player to have those advantages, I suppose, prematurely. I suppose that makes sense, fair enough. Idira's a little heretical. Argenta is the one who is most up the Imperialis chain, so she's got Adherent, and I could give her that equipment. So let's take a look at the inventory over here for Argenta. And let's pop that helmet on you, I suppose. Man, we haven't even cleaned the blood off, but why not? I do like that it visualizes. I imagine you can turn that off, but because I can't find that button quickly, I'm just going to take that helmet back off because she looks... I mean, it's such a badass look, right, with the bright hair and stuff, so I'm going to leave it at this for now. We do have this amulet, or this rosary, I should say, improving our commerce and lore. Sure, let's pop that on us. Again, this is not an item that we were given in the alpha, and we have the Rogue Trader's Cloak. A little presumptuous to throw that on right now, so that will keep in the inventory for the time being. But this rosary is a memento, right? So that's fine. That doesn't feel too dirty to put on. Oh man! All right, what else have we got over here? What's the deal with you, buddy? The parlor organ seems to have been sitting idle for many years. Very well, very well. Back up over here. A bizarre fragment hung on a trophy board. The light, smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes. Not sure what that might be. Mysterious that we can actually take a look at it right now, though. These all look like they could be like trophies from different adventures or something. But moving on now. Let's see what else is going on up over here. By the way, I'm not going to level up the characters right now. We'll spend some time doing that between sessions, and I'll walk you through my thoughts at the beginning of the next episode, so we're not spending too much time on menu screens right now. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, okay. Looks like Adira and I have some similar tendencies. Yes, indeed, here we go again. Some heretic cutthroats. This combat servitor is near dead already. Okay, this shouldn't be too much of a problem then. Alright, let's get Bahadur up over here, able to charge in and hopefully get some swings in right nice and early. We could start over here, I suppose. Nah, let's start up over there. I think that should be fine. Let's get Abelard up over here, coming in from the two flanks, right? Little pincer maneuver. Argenta can pop down over here, firing shots from one of these sides maybe, depending on what works out. And Adira, let's get you down over here. If we can get the lightning out nice and early, it'll be very nice for us. Let's begin. Of course, the AI gets to move first, and of course, we're completely swarmed right off the bat. It's not too bad. By the way, the way that the AI works as far as mooks has changed a little bit between the alpha and now. The devs want to make sure that when you get into a big battle, you're not slowly watching the AI's, low-tier units move one by one by one by one. So they kind of move as a group in one mob, you could say. And I guess this is the UI indicator of that mob, that these three would move together. Yeah, okay, cool. It's a good system. It's a good way to speed these things up, because with a cRPG, you being outnumbered is kind of the obvious way to go as far as providing a challenge to the player. So it's nice that they have this to speed things up. But let's speed things up ourselves as well. Let's not dally too much. I could come up this way, charge, get some hits in, or I could try and eliminate this guy. You know what? Let's go ahead and eliminate this guy. Too bad I can't also charge up there. Actually, we don't have a handgun. I should maybe get an auto pistol or something in Abelard's hand so he's able to fight in range and in melee. But too late for that now. Let's go ahead up here. Now let's just go up over here. Get the job done the regular way. Should get the kill. Easy damage output there. Down you go. Beautiful. And I could charge to close the gap, but that's unnecessary. Let's just pop Endure and end the turn there. And over we go to the Rogue Trader next. Now here, are we able to charge in? No, we're too close. So if I pull back to here and then charge in, that should be good. And then we should be able to burst fire somewhere. Trying to figure out the best angles over here. I would like to end up there so I could burst in this general direction, but I'll take this. Go ahead and charge on in. Get the kill, hopefully. Yep, beautiful. And our burst fire should be able to hit both these guys. Yep, drop them. Let's go. Oh, yeah, that feels good. The slow-mo is also tuned very nicely. It's like it doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. Let's go ahead and pop shot on the run. That'll allow us to creep up over here and get a free shot with reduced accuracy, and then we can follow through with, of course, the burst fire. Though, truth be told, one burst would probably finish the job over here. Let's start with the combat servitor. Maybe knock him back into the heretic there. Or let's miss and kill the heretic instead. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it just fine. Go ahead and burst fire, get the job done up over here. Nice. Don't know the physics behind that, but alright. That's pretty neat. I love the I love that the ballistics are actual ballistics, like you can miss but still hit, and that counts towards friendly fire as well, I should be clear. Yes, friendly fire is a thing. What do we got here? Grace of the Oblivious. Does that sound heretical? Ah, it is. It does count as Xeno trophy, so yes, it is heretical. The wearer gains toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. Grace of the Oblivious. Holy crap, that's good. We got a las pistol over here. We got some swords, nothing too special. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and pop it all into our cargo then. Yep. And let's actually take a look at our inventory really quickly. Give Abelard something in his hand. We've got Scrappy Auto Pistol. 4 to 7 damage. Yeah, sure. Maybe I should have taken one of those last pistols. Scrappy autoguns are unnecessary. Adira is fine as she is. That psychic staff is what's giving her her lightning arc. We do have... Oh, these are multi-keys. They kind of look like the end of the staff there. In her other set, though, she does have a las pistol. 6 to 8 damage. Abelard, this is doing what? 4 to 7? You know what? Let's take Adira's las pistol. Give her the Scrappy auto pistol, and give Abelard the las pistol instead. I think that's just a better call. Cool. All done there. Let's move on. I believe that's the loot taken. Well, we'll We'll see it as we move towards the bridge, but it's time to engage with the bridge. Wow, after I talk up the loot system in this game, we get a moment where it doesn't automatically loot the body. What happened there? Must have been a bug. Must have been a bug. Another last pistol. You know what? Let's go ahead and take it, and we'll adjust our equipment afterwards. Over to the Void Ship Bridge. Let's see what awaits us. I imagine it'll be a bit of a mini boss battle or something over here. Oh my god, carnage. Pure carnage. See what happened here. Alright, what a cargo.
Who thought that was a good idea?
We failed our check over here. The nauseating vision grimaces and grins as if mocking the suffering of mortals. What vision? It's just a planet. Alright, fair enough. Wow, this place is really messed up, eh? What do we have here? Edeltrad looks somewhat harrowed, but is still in one piece. He glances at you, then over your shoulder, clearly alarmed. Bardor, you're here. But where is the Lord Captain? Ah, man. In his last moments, do I reveal that Theodora is dead alongside the Archmilitant? Let him hold on to what will to live he has left. The Lord Captain will not be joining us. He'll read right through that for sure. Edeltrad gives you a confused look. Then, as realization dawns on him, his eyes fill with disbelief. No. The rogue trader is dead? Edeltrad shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch, the sleeve of his doublet bursts open, and 2 bone growths pierce through the fabric. No matter what the ritual Conrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I can't withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second, as the warp rings in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all of the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity is victorious. Idira looks anxiously at Edeltrad, then she glances back at you. I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. Change is already accelerating. Oh, well, everyone's giving up hope over here so quickly. I forbid you the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat. Now that's some commissar talk. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the navigator's sanctum, or perhaps the warp does not have to be the end. Only the beginning. No. That's some heresy there. No, I forbid you the very thought of yielding. Only by resigning to your fate will you truly suffer defeat. Words worthy of a righteous soul. Save the lofty words for later, will you? The navigator is ready to take the ship out of the warp if he gets some help from the bridge. Edeltrad stares at you, and his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. You can see Conrad Voigtveer clearly in the gloom of the bridge. He is holding the now familiar broken blade stained with dark drops that seem to have pearlescent glimmer to them. We're out of time. Edeltrad bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You can see how a wave runs through the whites of Edeltrad's eyes. They begin to fill with a sickly yellowness. Oh no. That complicates things. To Edeltrad, to the party, ready your weapons. If we're to die this day, let us die with honor, or Voigtveer, you duplicitous cur, the rogue trader's death will be avenged. Oh man. This reminds me of the first ever Dark Heresy campaign I ran as a GM. It had a similar moment for one of my players. But no, ready your weapons. If we are to die this day, let us die with honor. It's a pep talk in the grimdark future. No, Bardor. To die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to perish in the dark. No, it will not be like this. Not today. God damn it, Edeltrad. Edeltrad lowers his head. Then he sighs and locks eyes with you, his gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you? See to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell. Accursed traitor. A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death. What? Theodora is dead? Void Fear stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't... Alright, here we go. I said I was expecting a mini boss battle, but wasn't expecting this. We're up against a Chaos Spawn with quite a bit of HP, alongside some mooks over here, some cutthroats. They shouldn't be a problem. It's the spawn we'll have to worry about. But hang on a second. Who killed Theodora? Now, oh my goodness. Alright, these are some really good twists and turns right off the bat over here. Bardor, let's get you positioned a little bit closer. I mean, I'm a little worried about the Chaos Spawn, but we have to dive into melee with some of these characters. Very little HP, and now I almost wonder if I'm going to regret not having leveled them up. You know what, Bardor? Let's pop you back over here. You do have your pistol to fire with. Let's get Abelard over here. Our melee companions are together. They'll be able to fight in tandem. Argenta. Let's pull you to the other side over here. There isn't any cover, unfortunately. We can't come down over here. But sure, let's pop in over here. We might step out and burst fire up in this general direction. We got to take that Chaos Spawn down first. Everybody else is probably going to be relatively inaccurate. We've seen in the past they're not very good at landing their shots, so that's good. But I don't know about that Chaos Spawn. Idira, where to put you? Don't want to leave you out in the open, obviously. Suppose let's start you up over here next to Argenta. We'll creep in and get some shots off. All right, fair enough. Let's begin. Argenta's up first, don't mind that. Burst fire, we'll be able to hit quite a few. Oh, we'd probably focus down on the Chaos Spawn. Let's pop a shot on the run, though. Get that one free shot. Go ahead and hit the Chaos Spawn. 60% chance to hit. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I don't think killing these guys is the most important thing here. The Chaos Spawn goes after... everybody? No. Before Bahador, unfortunately. Alright, fire up over here. Miss. Alright, don't love that. That was a 60% hit chance. This is just 65. Let's go for it. What the hell? Oh. Oh! What the hell? Okay, a couple things happened there. So we got some good hits. We got a critical hit, but it looks like the Chaos Spawn was able to heal from that. Can I... where's my log? Scroll up a little bit over here. So... we dealt 22 impact damage to the Chaos Spawn. Yeah, so 22, 17, 11. 4 shots, 3 hits, 1 miss. The Chaos Spawn used Devour. Okay, devours an ally and restores 30% of the creature's maximum wounds. That's what happened there. Okay, so that's why we might want to focus on some of these mooks first. Gotcha. Thanks, game. Then there was the Rending Scream. The target undergoes a toughness check. If failed, the target gets bleeding for 5 rounds. Looks like Abelard failed and Argenta failed. Don't like that. The actual attack from the Chaos Spawn, though, did no damage. Alright, a few people are bleeding, though. Just got to keep an eye out for that. Glad we have the log to see what went down. But let's go ahead and pull away from that spawn, shall we? Leaving Idira way open. Okay, end the turn there. Idira's up next. I'm almost wondering now if I do want to focus on these mooks, because, again, the Chaos Spawn will keep healing itself. Its turn is coming up. We've got Lightning Arc, 92% hit chance. Can't see those guys. Not even close enough to hit them. If I creep up to here, Lightning Arc. Yeah, should be able to finish 2 of them off. Probably worth it, you know. Go for it. Run across, pop that shot. Beautiful stuff. I really like I really like that effect. It's quite nice. Forewarning gives us improved dodge and parry chances for an ally. Study enemies. The adept randomly distributes intelligence bonus stacks of clue marks among enemies in a 4 square radius within a 10 cell range. Clues remain until the end of combat and can add insight, a characteristic that increases damage against the studied enemies. If the adept hits a target with clue, it deals an additional perception bonus plus insight damage, removes 1 stack of clue, and provides +1 insight to the adept until the end of combat. So study enemies works very differently from the alpha. And from... yeah, Okay, so fair enough. So that's completely different. I'm glad I read that. It looked different when I looked at the last turn, or last session. Expose weakness. The adept removes 1 stack of clue from the target to decrease its dodge, parry, and armor by 10 plus 2 times the adept's perception bonus for 1 round. Wow, you know what? I like... Unless I misread them during the alpha, these feel a lot better. These feel a lot more clearly worded and a lot more useful as well compared to the alpha version. Anyway, let's go ahead and study enemies because we may as well. Pop this down over here, sure. That'll cost 2 action points, so next turn we'll be able to use some of those clues. Did we get any clues? Ah, I see. Okay, so I knew it'd be represented with some tokens. Unfortunately, all 3 of them landed on this cutthroat who isn't going to last very long, so that's a bit of a bummer. I probably should have repositioned that so it only highlighted the chaos spawn, but hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn. Let's end Idira's turn. See this cutthroat come up, and then we'll probably eat some shots here. Likely to miss, though. Or likely to not even shoot. Do you have a gun jam or something, buddy? Anyway, Abelard's up. We could burst fire. How much damage would this actually do? Not much. Not very much at all. I do wonder if I should just go charging in instead. Dive into melee. Very little HP over here. You know what? Let's try and keep our distance for as long as possible, even if it does minimal damage. Pop your auto fire over here. Not going to cause any friendly fire. Go for it. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Pop endure. And what are you again? Brace for impact. For 1 round, the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gain +2 to deflection for each doctrine taken by the Navy officer. They also cannot be forcefully moved or over-penetrated. Let's yeah, let's pop it, because this chaos spawn is right there. So let's go ahead and pop brace for impact. And it looks like the chaos spawn actually has, what is this? Fresh wound. An injury newly received from a trap or damage that is more than 50% of total wounds amount from a single attack. If not healed by a medikit, it will turn into an old injury. Too many injuries reduce resolve and cause a trauma. Okay, these are all mechanics that weren't there in the alpha. Alright. Stuff to look at, folks. Holy crap. This is probably going to be... Hey, I thought bracing for impact would help prevent exactly that, but here we are. But I was gonna say, this is gonna be one of the best cRPGs of like the decade to come, isn't it? It already feels that way. Okay, what do we do here? So it's the Rogue Trader, then Argenta, then Idira. Can we take the Chaos Spawn down, or do we focus on these two? I do not have an angle of fire, unfortunately. Okay. We'll have to pull out from our position over here. Abelard will not be active next turn, which is unfortunate. If I come down over here, burst up over here, 5 to 9 damage. If I go charging in instead, who knows how much damage. It might be necessary to do this. Alright. Let's go for a charge in. Argenta will hopefully be able to burst fire without hitting the Rogue Trader. Let's go for it. Down and charge up. Good hit. He's gonna eat one of these guys. Yeah, no surprise there. Gonna heal up, gonna retaliate. Abelard's in trouble. And he's the one with all of our med kits, isn't he? I've got my frag grenade that I could toss. Does a touch of damage. I could also burst fire from like point blank. Does basically nothing. Melee, probably just gonna eat somebody else, right? Use forceful strike, though I don't know that'll help against a chaos spawn. And go for the hit here. Bit of damage, I'll take it. And the Rogue Trader's turn there. Argenta's up next. Let's use shot on the run. Try and eliminate this guy. Single shot from back over here. 91% hit chance. Don't you dare miss this. Good stuff. Alright. Nobody to... Ah, god damn it. There's this guy back over here. The Chaos Spawn can still keep himself alive, which is far from ideal. I rush up. Idira's caught in melee right now. We'll probably have to pull back and eat an attack of opportunity. Argenta's not able to move, unfortunately. I missed this guy. Forgot about that guy. So we don't really have much of an option. We could dash, but I don't think that'll put us in a position to hit that guy up there. So, sure, burst fire. Abelard's in a bit of trouble. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay, Argenta, stay put. And your turn there. Idira, do we go in with a strike here? Ooh, that's not terrible, actually, in terms of damage output. We have our heroic act here. Deals a bit more damage, right? 13 damage versus How much damage does this do actually in melee? Doesn't look like as much. 7 to 11. Okay. Heroic push won't affect allies either. The regular lightning arc will damage allies, but with the heroic push we won't see that happen, so this is probably a good call. I just wonder if I want to get out of melee and take that attack of opportunity upon us. Or before I do that, do I try to study the enemy again? Cause some extra damage potentially? Sure. Can't hit anybody else. 2 action points. We'll still have 2 left over for the lightning arc. Sounds good to me. Go for it. Yeah, got 3 stacks there. Don't mind that. And let's go for the heroic push over here.
If only you knew what awaits you.
That attack of opportunity, man. That did a lot of damage, but we hit with quite a bit ourselves. Question is, what's this thing going to do before Bahador's turn? That enemy back there isn't able to secure any hits. I'm very curious what it's up to. But we're able to fire away over here. I could pull back and then charge in. Again, eat an attack of opportunity, but do just that little bit much more damage. Right? I think it's worth it. Cycle charge over here. Beauty! Oh my goodness, that was a lot of damage. Alright, we just need 1 clean hit over here. 93% hit chance. Come on. Come on, baby, please. Beautiful. Down goes the Chaos Spawn. Only 1 enemy left now. Let's go ahead and end our turn here. Flip to Argenta. Rush up to here. Pop. Shot on the run. We can get a little bit closer. Rush up to here. Do we have line of sight? We must. It's not highlighting the line, so we might not, but let's move as close as we can move and then try and pop a shot up over here. No line of sight. Damn. Alright, that's okay. Let's go ahead and dash. We can't dash downstairs, can we? We can dash a little downstairs. Okay, sure. I'll take what I can get. And from here? Still no. Burst? Just can't hit this guy. He's behind some good cover. Fair enough. Argenta's a little exposed, but she'll be okay. Idira, let's creep up to here and... Can I? I can't. This guy picked a very good spot to hide. Alright, let's move Idira up to here so it doesn't take too much damage, just in case. This guy's gonna stay put. No, he's gonna stick his neck out. Pop a shot. Miss. Okay, good. Bardor, let's get you up to here. Are you for real? I still can't hit. I guess... So I saw this mentioned in the comments of the, I think, previous episode, but folks are seeing some issues with line of sight and height advantages where you're not able to see below properly. Like, I would imagine that we'd be able to see down there, and we can see down here, but we can't see down there. So I wonder if it's that or what. But it didn't. I don't think it worked like this in the alpha. But anyway, it is what it is. It works like this now. End Bahador's turn. Argenta's going to come up over here and from point blank range pop a shot right in this guy's skull. Let's go for it. There we go. Alright. Gotta find the Master Helmsman. That was a fun fight. That's a fun opening, like, mini boss battle. Chaos Spawn did a decent bit of damage. Put us a little bit on the back foot in some cases. Abelard was very badly hurt, but we're all topped up now, so that's interesting. I thought getting topped up after a battle was something that was only available later in the game because of a specific skill. I really do hope that wounds carry over after battle, because if you just heal up after battle, regardless of what went down, I feel like it reduces the stakes a little bit. I'd be curious how you guys feel about that. Let me know in the comments down below, but I feel that, you know, if you take damage in combat, that damage should stick around. You should have to use your medikits or your abilities to get past it. It's possible that this is working differently because we're in the prologue right now, but that doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, let's see what's going on over here. We've got Gloves of Endurance, Mechanicus Creations. Whenever the wearer of these gloves gets an injury or falls unconscious in combat, their allies gain +1 bonus to damage. How does that work? Like, just in universe, how does that work? Mysterious Sword Handguard, a Wraithbone Handguard of a sword crafted by Eldari Weaponsmith, so that's obviously not for us. How do I... Cannot... Oh! I can't put this to our cargo. Cannot. We've got a Mysterious Sword Shard over here. Okay. Do I have to take it all to inventory? No, I can put this into cargo. Let's take it to our inventory, though. I was curious what those items are. What's this now? From the Overseer, we have an auto pistol. Move that to the cargo. We don't need that. What's going on down over here? This bridge officer was just standing there, not doing anything as this battle went down. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your help, bridge officer. Should have you executed for heresy. Alright. Nothing left up over here. Move on this way. There's the Master Helmsman. What's going on? Ravor, Master Helmsman, system status report. By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. The white-haired man with sickly pale skin salutes you. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. How did you people survive in here? The man glances around the bridge. Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them. But it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then I prayed for our rescue. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Abelard pauses for a few seconds before turning to you. Bahardor, you may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence. He directs your attention upward to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. What must I do? Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Blast it all to the void. Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master Bahardor. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Please, hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk. I'm ready. Begin the ritual. Oh, what? No way! A vision of unimaginable vileness appears before your eyes. The flickering image shifts and wavers as if the azure-feathered creature is constantly changing while still remaining the same. One of its eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. Its voice seems to seep directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears.
Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flows of fate?
The creature bends its neck, studying you. For but a moment you feel as if it is wary of you.
It matters not. Your footfalls are an echo of the sand pouring between the scales. Your hopes and faith are my mockery.
Oh man, I am so pleased right now. Tzeentch is my absolute favorite Chaos God. For the fact that Buddy gets involved right off the bat. Oh, and look at this shot too, just the camera. Oh my god. Alright, okay, sorry, I'm gushing here. I've already resisted the temptation of the warp once. Whatever you are, you will not cloud my mind with a new illusion. Okay, it seems right. Begone, phantom, don't even engage. What do you want with me? No, sir, I'm not taking that bait. No, I have already resisted the temptation of the warp once. Whatever you are, you will not cloud my mind with a new illusion. The creature hisses almost painfully, as if wounded by your words.
Resisting the inevitable means only that realization and submission will bring greater torment. There is no power that can hinder the flows of fate.
The demon peers into you. Your head begins to spin, your stomach turns, and vicious drops slither down your cheeks. Oh, sorry, viscous drops.
This shard of reality drifting through my domain is merely the arena for the one who dared to vie for the favor of the gods. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, to procure that which elevates a mortal above others, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable. The aspirant was defeated, and thus gave birth to a new aspirant. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I see you on the day when the final dawn rises over the metal world, when the gates of the realm of the sorcerer open and set the truth free. I see you at my side on the day I rise again, I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return.
The demon reaches towards you and sinks a ghostly claw into your chest. A terrible cold binds your body, and a cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
Yo, I'm so pleased right now. What the hell? Ravor turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments, then addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you. Seneschal. The Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means... Abelard nods absent-mindedly. The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory along with that of all who died this day. Ravor does not look away. He is giving you a hard stare, his white brows furrowed. Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where is the Lord Captain? It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak. First Officer Abelard Rosarian is authorized to inform the officers. It is my greatest regret and indelible sorrow to inform you of the untimely passing of Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius, rogue trader in the service of the Imperium. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. After waiting out the first wave of shocked cries, Abelard glances at you and continues. By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision, I can't say anything. It would be demoralizing. It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is Bahardor von Valancius, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade and the title of rogue trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, Abelard stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officers. Have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord! It is because of his toils that we are still alive. The Seneschal turns to you. He looks at least half a decade older. The deed is done, Bahardor. My apologies. I meant to say, Lord Captain. And that is how we ascend. Wow, alright. Alright, this is a packed prologue, man. Absolutely chock full of all kinds of threads. Deep shadows of wariness can be seen on Abelard's face. Though the old officer's eyes are keen, they rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. You had us worried for a few hours there. Abelard offers a thin smile. But after witnessing you fearlessly rush into the fray on deck, the only thing that surprises me is how long you stayed on your feet. Your strength only left you once the fighting was all over. Such fortitude is most admirable in a Lord Captain. The medics only just saved you in time. Luckily, one of the healers remembered the existence of a long-forgotten augment station in storage. The blessings of the Omnissiah saved your life. Some of your internal organs had to be replaced with implants. The good news is that now we have the capabilities to install augmentations of any complexity. The Seneschal then mutters to himself, I swear, sometimes it seems new compartments spring up on this ship on their own volition. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by their deputy's deputy, while others go unfilled entirely. And now, the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. Bit of a time jump here, it feels like. Well, How do we come to lose so many officers? I imagine the attack, but let's ask it anyway. Get some clarity, maybe. It appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising, given that their informant on board was our own Master of Whispers. Abelard grimaces. Almost feels like a bit of a recap here. Okay, there is an altogether more pressing problem. I do not wish to be the rogue trader. Now is not the time for this kind of, waffling. Okay, what's on the agenda for this meeting? Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I am still receiving updates from across the ship, and they're not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we're currently in. So, prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your lordship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they in turn will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. Alright, I'm ready to start the briefing then. Summon the officers. With a gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants of the... adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. That was a word I'm unfamiliar with. There they all are. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Attention, officers! You have been granted an honor. Lord Captain Bahardor von Valancius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard. As you wish, your lordship. Abelard points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vigdis Suri Otta of the Ptoleman line, our new Voxmaster. It is an honor to serve your lordship. The Voxmaster offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Ravor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us, to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin, large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. Hail, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our high factotum, Yanris Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery aboard, the Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires on the ship, and lastly, the Engine Master, servant of the Omnissiah. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Engine Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving the complicated manipulation of all the Tech Priest's mechadendrites. Is that everyone? Unfortunately, our choir master, the esteemed Zachary Weiss, head of the Astropath section, is unable to join us. He is in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Weiss has been in a trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the von Valancius Protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Kunrad Voigtvir's treachery. I will deliver a report to your lordship on the Astropath's progress as soon as it is possible to do so. All others present are adjutants, secretaries, and deputies. They're here to make a record of proceedings. Very well. I wish to hear the Infernus Master's report, simply going in order here. Yes, Lord Captain. The tall young man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment, in terms of material losses and crew casualties, has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factotum. The post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. Abelard remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only. The lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. Very well. Was that not the high factotum right there? Or... no, that's the Infernus Master, right, fires, who passed the report on to the high factotum. So, high factotum, what have you to report? We're toiling day and night to compile a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for retention, and that all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately, this number is confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We will be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Rykad Minoris. However, the planet, the whole system in fact, belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Trader dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on that planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations at this level are a matter for the Rogue Trader. Especially true given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later, and the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets, rumbles Abelard, frowning. Very well, Engine Master, I will hear from you now. A voice distorted by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, thanked the Omnissiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. With great sorrow, I must also report that the chief engine seer, overseer, and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by the little detestable flesh that remained part of him. A most terrible loss. There is no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement, and as soon as possible. I see. Thank you. I'm not gonna insult the cogboy. I understand him clearly enough. I see. Thank you. The tech priest bows her head. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, but without our chief engine seer and navigator who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what'll happen first. Our warp drives being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Your Lordship, if you allow me to interject. When we arrived in this system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted a count of all the available communication channels in the region. One of them was a Novice Nobilite station. The station maintains complex Vox silence, complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the God Emperor. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less shitty news, we can go round and round this system till our heads are swimming, as long as the promethium and supplies last. And, if any thick-as-Grox shit lowlifes come sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out, so don't you worry on that score. Very well. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? The Master of Ordnance gives you a gloomy look. No. My job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire where I'm told. But, just ask anyone, we've got no able crew. No Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply. It is as if a dam has burst inside and all his pent-up emotions are rushing out of him. The ship's in ruins. Every second officer's dead, and now we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to void knows where. The italics versus non-italics here are reversed, unfortunately. Silence! The bridge's magnificent glass panes seem to tremble under the force of Abelard's roar. Enforcers, seize this mutineer! There's no room for dissidents. We cannot have this while we're in this transitionary period. Abelard grunts. If only one officer out of the whole lot has fallen to pieces, then that's not bad at all. Your Lordship, I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with the Master of Ordnance? The former Master of Ordnance, I should say. Besides, find a replacement, that is, for we already have one lined up. Oh wow, Imperialis is to execute him. Experienced Masters of Ordnance are few and far between, so for that reason he may remain in post. I leave his punishment at your discretion, Abelard. No. Like I said, we cannot have this kind of a thing. We must have witnessed in our time in the military what happens when the chain of command shifts, right? And you have people who are not falling in line. We've definitely seen that in the front lines, so this being the front lines now, in my eyes, we can't allow him to be. We could tell people to stand down and release him. I have no intention of punishing a man for a moment of weakness, not after the terrible attack we have endured. Alas, I'm not so benevolent. Execute him. Abelard nods stiffly. Consider it done. Take him away. I do love that that's the Imperialis option there. Not a happy place, the Imperium. The brittle laughter of the Master of Ordnance reverberates around the bridge as he is led to his fate. Yikes. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members, and we require a new chief engineer and navigator. Is this all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain, but bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship is in need of serious repairs, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector, but we will never reach Footfall without first solving these 3 immediate problems. Very well. Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. The assembled officers salute you as one. Your Lordship, there is one other thing. A confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora, Abelard hesitates, your eternally esteemed predecessor, brought the ship here to this system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything, and I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Coronis Expanse. I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume. Yes, quite right. XC. Javier Calcazar. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrichs van Kalox, an interrogator, you understand. All I know is that he is somewhere in this system, that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall in the Furibundus system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, either the Navis Nobilitae or the Governor of Ricad Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your Lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon you must take up the reins of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he is about to offer some words of encouragement. Idira? Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Idira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judge that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For a brief moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but it can wait. Talk with me when you'll have time, rogue trader. Idira's mutant eyes rove over those assembled. One word bursts from her lips. Daybreak. Crap, she knows. Idira, come to your senses. Damn it! Idira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your Lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future, and it hit me so hard my head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak, or maybe it's dawn, and it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Class? No. Not yet, anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, all right? Well, if there's nothing else of value to report, I declare this briefing concluded. It's time to get to work. Time to get to work indeed. Time as well for this episode to come to an end. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. A lot went down, a lot was revealed. Holy crap, this, again, like I said, is a packed prologue, but I do believe we have now entered the first act of the game. We'll see what it entails in the following episodes. Folks, again, keep your eyes peeled for news about how the giveaway will continue. It might still be the same way as before, or I might come up with something new. I'll probably drop answers at the beginning of the next episode, as well as on Twitter and in the Discord linked in the description down below. But again, if you did have a good time this episode, folks, if you'd like to see Rogue Trader continue on the channel when the final game actually releases, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. With that said, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.